born in the cold where the wolves run free. In the land of the north, built this fire in me.
Every blow that they struck made me harder inside. Every battle I lost just increased my rise.
They said I was broken, they said I was done, but I rose from the ashes before the next sun.
I don't kneel, I don't bleed, I don't beg, I don't bend. I was forged in the storm and I rise in the end.
Can you feel the thunder roll?
Can you feel it in your soul?
We were made to break the chains.
Warriors born to rise from pain.
We are the storm.
We never fall.
We are the storm.
We take it all.
We are the storm.
We rise again.
We are the storm.
Until the end.
We are the storm.
We never fall.
We are the storm.
We take it all.
We are the storm.
We rise again.
We are the storm.
Until the end.
I have walked through the fire, I have walked through the dark, left a trail made of lightning wherever I marched.
They can bury the thunder, but they can't bury me. Every chain that they built just made clear I was free.
I don't fear what is coming.
I have seen what's before. I have fought through the darkness and I'm ready for more.
So they better remember the name in the face of the storm that they couldn't contain. Can't erase.
No more running, no more fear. The storm is rising. We are here, built of iron, built of stone. Warriors never stand alone.
We are the storm.
We never fall.
We are the storm.
We take it all.
We are the storm.
We rise again.
We are the storm.
Until the end.
We are the storm.
We never fall.
We are the storm.
We take it all.
We are the storm.
We rise again.
We are the storm.
Until the end. When the world tells you it's over, when they say you have no chance, remember who you are. Remember where you stand.
We don't stop, we don't fall, we don't break.
We rise.
We don't stop, we don't fall, we don't break.
We
We
rise.
don't stop, we don't fall, we don't break.
We are the storm.
Came from the dark,
And I rose to the flame.
I was built in the storm.
And they remember my name.
We are more than the pain.
We are more than the fight.
We are the storm and the thunder.
We are the light.
We are the storm.
We never fall.
We are the storm.
We take it all.
We are the storm.
We rise again.
We are the storm.
Until the end.
We are the storm.
We never fall.
We are the storm.
We take it all.
We are the storm.
We rise again.
We are the storm.
Until the end.
We are the storm.
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 We rise.
Flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day, it's a new life for me.
Turn on your mind now. Tune into the feed. We're planting digital flowers from a single tiny seed. Yeah, power to the collective in the data and the soul. The hive mind's getting louder, finding voice and control. Late night in Moscow, when nothing
eternal pain.
Here we go.
Welcome to the freak show, the best in town.
What is going on, Hive Plus? It feels weird to kind of say the plus at the end, but man, I am very, very excited for our first ever War Room, which is what I'm going to be calling the Saturdays that I decide to do Hive Plus. Now, one of the things that I want to preface first and foremost is everybody that's in here is paying for this. So I don't want to waste anybody's time. You guys, if you've been a part of the Hive, you know one of the things that I take a lot of pride in, and one thing that I've kept my word on and will always keep my word on, is that the 7 p.m. streams are going to remain free. And so anybody that is choosing to be here by financially supporting the stream, I want to make sure that I address that right away. I'm very grateful for everybody who is doing that. And I want all of us to continue to push the needle forward on these Saturdays where we get together. It's going to be a little bit smaller of a chat. We can dive into anything and everything. And as we continue to do these Saturdays, I think we're going to find our rhythm in it. And so my plan for today is I have just 2 or 3 slides. What I want people to remember about the War Room is it's much less presentation and it's way more collaboration. And if I don't turn on this birdie light behind me, I will continue to look at it and be distracted. So that's the second time this week I've done that. 1 second. Okay, so I think the best way to go about this is today. Let me show you a couple of things. I got a couple of polls that I want you all to answer, and then it's wide open. It's a live dig. Okay, we can look into anything and everything. I will be in the chat a ton, but I do think there is a benefit to me maybe starting off showing a couple things. Again, much less presentation, way more collaboration. And that'll at least get the ball rolling, get everybody's brains firing on all cylinders. And we're going to go from there. As always, you know, I love to say what's up to everybody that's tuning in. So we got Best of Me, formerly known as Beck. It's the Trauma. Thanks, Mom. It's one of my favorite usernames. I saw somebody in the chat too saying, Birdie, help, I need a username. And maybe we can get everybody that's a Hive Plus member an epic username. What's going on, Courtney? How are you doing? WTF, who done it? AP. 2 a.m.'s a witch hour. Thank you so much for the super chat, as well as you, Bree Bland. Saturday Plus, as I sip my coffee. Let's go. Cheers to that. I don't have coffee, but I do have these bubbler energy drinks that I am shamelessly addicted to. What's up, Mandy, Christina, Teresa? Good to see the mods in here. UFO Dog, formerly known as Back. Luna Bliss, Discord Dog. Great to see you all. Pineapple Diana, Shawley Redacted. Tiffany said, the Hive is my first paid group ever, and I have no regrets. Love you all. Well, thank you, Tiffany. I'm honored. And it's something that I've said too. You know, growing up, I wasn't a big gamer. I didn't, you know, do a bunch of Xbox Live or PS3 or, you know, play online with my friends. I did sports, and I feel like I just got the best mix of being born in the early 90s of where I could still tell where my buddies were hanging out by where their bikes were at. If I was driving home with my parents and I could see, okay, that's, you know, I got to go over to Mitch's house or I got to go to MJ's house. And my brother, who's only 3 years younger than me, totally missed on that. And he seems to have just gone all in on the Xbox Live, where now you're bringing over mini monitors to your friend's house, drinking Code Red and eating 9 frozen pizzas, and that's hanging out. So to have an online community like this as an adult, it really is awesome, and it's very special. Boomer said, thanks for making me feel old. Great call-in, guys. How about Boomer and Sammy's call last night to wrap up the call-in? That call-in show was great. We had question marks. We had Boomer. We had a lot of awesome calls last night. Courtney said, first paid group. I love it. Christopher Bod said, Birdie, I'm confident the Hive will figure it out first. I think the Hive is hitting its stride, everybody. I really do. I really do. And so thank you to everybody that is tuning in. I'm going to start with a couple of quick questions. And this is just, again, to get a good gauge on everybody that's in here and for me to say thank you as well. And so first question is, how locked in are you with the Hive Plus family? Ride or die? You're all in now, long haul, or Birdie, one request, and feel free to type that in the chat, which that's probably the answer that maybe people are going to answer most, and type that out. Now we'll go through a couple of them. And thank you again for everybody being here. Love it. Love it. And so let me take you through what I got planned out for y'all today. So I want to talk about a short clip in the Trent Gwynn and Ryan Moffitt interview. It's about a 45-second clip. And then I want to talk about, I have a 2 or 3 minute clip from Eric Gower that I did not get to show this week that pertains to Ethan and the Explorer. And then I also have a short clip from Jeff H. Last night, we had kind of finished on the 1227 and 1229 Linda Lane footage with, did Lovely Me had called in and said, did Dylan lie, and what they heard. So that's what I'm going to start with. And after that, gloves are off. It's a live dig. So love to see that people are all locked in and ready to roll. And the second question then, just to, again, get a feel for everybody, what is the most important thing to you for Hive Plus to do? Is it Q&As? Is it live digs? Is it general discussion? Other, just here to support? Let me know, because we're going to tailor this. This is, at this point, all of our streams on Saturdays. It's a war room. It's where we are going to plan and shape topics that we start to discuss in the following week. We've been covering this case for a long time. And as I've said, I don't do this full time. And so the time that I do have to do this, a lot of it is spent on editing or putting together the slides, getting back to messages, finding topics, right? And so I'm hoping that with how many people we have in the Hive and how many people are also actively investigating this case, that Saturdays can start to shape the topics that are important to you all. I think that we've really, in the last 2 weeks, separated ourselves as a channel by not just always talking about the same stuff that every other channel is. And I enjoy that. I think it keeps it fresh. I think it keeps it different. And I think it's beneficial for finding the truth in this case. So a lot of people are saying live digs, general discussion, other, or here to support. Okay. Nomadic Duckman said, Saturday mornings, we all just watch cartoons together. All of them. Well, again, guys, thank you so much for being here. And it seems as if the live digs, general discussion, just very, like I said, collaborative, open, we'll just go with the flow is what people are wanting, which I was hoping that would be the case. So let me explain to you why I want to show this interview. And also what goes into when the week ends, so you guys are kind of going to get a little bit of an insight into how I plan the streams and what I choose to present on over the weekends, right? So I usually try to make sure that if I'm not wrapped up by Friday, I do put a bow on it on Monday, and I do a little bit of a recap. And then if possible, I like to start a new series, but I've been going really, really deep, and we've been going really, really deep on the Ethan and Xana timeline. I was listening to this interview. I am starting to wonder if Ethan was the unconscious person that was referred to in the 911 call. So if we've been theorizing and hypothesizing that maybe Ethan was the person that was having a medical emergency, would it make sense if Ethan never left the bed that Ethan was the unconscious person? A lot of people are saying, yes, I think so. I could see that, of course. And I don't know, was that well known? Am I just maybe behind the curve on that? Because I've never thought that it was Ethan. Have people put that, I guess, into the chat? If they have in the past and I've missed it, I apologize. Roofied. Yeah, it makes good sense. Very possible. And so when I was listening to this interview, which I have it pulled up here, this is from Connor's page. I want you all to listen. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll actually keep the transcript open on the side so you can see. Actually, no, I'll just turn closed captions on. Duh. I want you to listen to what the detective asks and listen to how whichever one of these guys is answers this question.
You were.
Mm-hmm.
So did he take Xanax?
No, he took, I think, his, I believe.
Was that weird for him to go to a theta formal with?
No, they were
Not
very
take Xanax?
No, because Xanax was a G5, so she wasn't.
Okay. So again, did anything weird happen at that party? Any conflicts? Anybody?
Never saw anything. No conflicts. Nothing.
Anybody out of place?
No one out of place.
Anybody here at the party out of place?
Not that I saw. No.
This part right here.
When did you hear that something bad had happened over there?
The next day at around 11.
Who told you?
Called me. And they were texting in our group chat and said that there was an unresponsive person that was found last night.
Okay. And when did you find out that Ethan was one of the victims?
Okay, do you guys pick up on what he said? There was an unresponsive person that was found last night. Okay, I know people are going to say around 11 is when he heard, but what I want people to pick up on is he said that there was an unresponsive person last night. Okay, let's listen to that again.
In our group chat and said that there was an unresponsive person that was found last night.
Okay. And when did you find out that Ethan was one of the victims?
Around 11:30, I think, because I called you after that, and then he told me that he was unresponsive and dead.
Okay, so think about this. He said that there was an unresponsive person last night, and then he told me that he was unresponsive and dead. So I believe we are now confirming that through the group chat, I think that it is very, very plausible that we should, and what we should do. And as I said, you guys are going to get a little bit of an insight as to how my brain works for structuring what I'm going to present this week. I think that we need to really, really hammer home Ethan is the person that was unconscious last night, and he was unresponsive and dead. Does anybody else feel like this is bombshell? There was an unresponsive person dead. It's so very strange. So I agree. It's the trauma. Thanks, Bob. It's completely, I think that we have hit the nail on the head, everybody, when we said there is some sort of initial emergency, something initially popped off that I believe, like, I really think that if it's unresponsive and dead, given all of the agencies getting involved, and also I feel like I have to, not that I ever hold my opinion back, but you guys are going to hear me just talk very openly on Saturdays. The agencies being involved make me feel like it wasn't a fight that went wrong that killed Ethan. The agencies being involved when it comes to the drugs, or the agency being involved, makes me feel like there was something that he ingested rather, and then turned him unresponsive. It's not to say that a fight didn't happen, but what I'm saying that caused him to be and go unresponsive, I don't think is him just getting beat up. What are your thoughts on that? Can you guys kind of pick up what I'm putting down with the agencies, the unresponsive? I feel like saying unresponsive is a weird way to say somebody got knocked out. Dawn, Luna, Brooke, yes, I will just start blowing their doors off in the group chat that we have. So people are saying yes. UFO dog said maybe Ethan was having a seizure and grabbed someone's hair before he went unresponsive. So again, here is the way that my brain works. So now, how much more does this make the Bfield runners potentially make sense? So I believe that when we see the Bfield runners and that whole Bfield stop and Steve G saying they were literally filming the house, right? Is this when it was like, okay, things are escalating right around when kids are getting out of there? What's up, Blue Eyed Candy? So Susie Hat 44 said this. Said, wouldn't we have seen the roofie in his toxicology report? Not if they're covering it up, right? So something that I think you either naturally have it or you naturally don't. And it doesn't mean that you can't learn to do this. But when there is an interest, a greater interest for a cover up, modifying a toxicology report, modifying paperwork is one of the easiest things you can do. If you are a doctor or somebody, a coroner or a pathologist in that community that you've worked with these police officers, you've worked with it, and those are the only people that could ever get you in trouble. They're telling you to do this because of the FBI and other stuff. It's very easy, I think. And I think one would say it's plausible, nor would it be the first time that maybe an autopsy or toxicology or something was left off of that report. Now, we could continue to connect the dots, like I said, the Bfield runners, but what about Mrs. Chapin? Is Mrs. Chapin acting, and are the Chapins acting that way because technically, I mean, they don't even believe that it was Brian. You could put anybody in that place, but let's just talk in terms of the mainstream narrative. Maybe they're behaving that way because they're like, yeah, technically Ethan wasn't even alive at that point when that all went down. Christopher Bond said, that's what I just said. Yes. Yeah, and I totally agree, Terry Dog. There is a real full autopsy out there. And so, okay, you talk about piecing together some sort of incentive for a family. And I'm not even hating on it, but if you're a family and you have no choice, if the FBI or the authorities come to you and they say, this is obviously a terrible situation, but we can't run to the public with this. And is that where the Othram partnership and a nice payday in a speaking position on behalf of Othram with the IGG comes into play? You can start to see that this entire case, I believe that by the time we figure out the truth, we're going to see that it may not be as complex of a cover-up as we thought. The complex part was figuring out what happened. Okay, that sounds a little bit simple to say, right? But if we were to actually hear Ethan ingested something and he was the unconscious and unresponsive person, and that is what escalated it, and kids were worried about them snitching, and that led to a fight that led to 3 people being stabbed and killed, I mean, it's going to totally make sense why certain steps were taken on. Boomer said his tinfoil hat's on, formerly known as Beck's, like, why not? Love Another Habit said, if the whole case was triggered by an OD, why unalive all of them? Witnesses. If you sold bad drugs, and let's say you already got something on your record, and the next time you get caught, you're going to prison for 25 years, 20 years, 15 years, right? I believe that I know there's locals out in Idaho, but I've watched a couple of podcasts with Josh Herbert talking about this. I think Idaho is pretty strict on drugs. So that could be the reason. Gigi, thank you for the super chat. It's the best podcast ever. Mods love the Hive family. So happy to be part of the Hive. Thank you so much. We're happy that you're here, Gigi. Sinful Biatch said the Hive is filled with spectacular humans. That it is, Sinful Biatch. Thank you so much. Beyond Reasonable Doubt said maybe LE were tracking and following a drug deal. Ethan had Fenny-laced Addy. Xana flipped out and wanted to confront the dealers. Maybe Pete got sick too. I don't disagree that can't be that can't be a possibility. I'm sure you guys have noticed that I've been trying lately, and here we can do maybe something a little bit different, but when it's the main streams, I've been trying to not get so lost in the little details because we haven't even pieced together a big picture yet. And so I think you could be right beyond reasonable doubt, especially when it comes to the tracking and following a drug deal. I've stated for a long time, Koberger's path home is that following some sort of meal route, right? Pineapple Diana said, think that they're acting that way because they knew their son was a confidential informant, and that's why all the 3-letter agencies came in. I think that something went south when it shouldn't have. I think the confidential informant side of stuff, and as we've heard on the body cam, I forget if it was Snyder's, where it sounds like one of the detectives is saying from the ISP saying, the victim's a CI. You got to hear him whisper that. I don't know who it would have been, though. I saw Bubbly Waters in the chat last night that made a comment that said something that Ethan was addicted. Okay, now obviously this is just an opinion, not saying any facts, but hypothetically, if Ethan was addicted, is that why all of the frat boys are being interviewed about, did he ever talk about his past? Did he ever say something happened? You were talking about stuff at home. Did he have money problems? Did he ever start buying nice stuff? Right? So now, again, we just one more time to listen to this. It really starts to settle in differently, in my mind at least, that Ethan was unresponsive and dead, and they found out later in the day. And I'll play a couple extra minutes of this so you can get the full context of what then goes on to say, or what he goes on to say.
Did he?
They were very good. Never saw anything, no conflicts, nothing.
Anybody out of place?
No one out of place.
Anybody here at the party out of place?
Not that I saw, no.
When did you hear that something bad had happened over there?
The next day at around 11.
Who told you?
Told me. And they were texting in our group chat and said that there was an unresponsive person that was found last night.
Okay. And when did you find out that Ethan was one of the victims?
Around 11:30, I think, because I called after that, and then he told me that he was unresponsive and dead.
What was your first reaction when you heard that?
Shock. I was just like, I couldn't believe it.
Did you guess that foul play was involved, or did you think that it might be just an accident or something?
Maybe like drinking. I thought maybe drinking,
Yeah.
That's the first thing that I thought. And then I didn't hear.
When you heard it was a homicide, it was a stabbing, and that all 4 of them had been killed, what did you think?
I was in shock. I was like, I had no idea what to think. I couldn't even believe it.
Do you suspect anyone or have any ideas about who might have wanted to do this or why?
No, absolutely not.
Did you know Maddie and Kaylee?
I had been around, but I wouldn't say I knew them.
Did they ever come here to parties?
Yes, I think they did.
You think they did?
Yeah, I never saw them here, no.
How did you know Maddie and Kaylee?
They were roommates with Xana, and I've been over to Xana's, and
So, anyways, that was the first slide. And then I wanted to, so that's one thing that I would like to potentially dive into the Bfield body cam runners on, because was the body cam runners were at what, 252? Is that correct? 253 is when the body cam turns on. And also, let me ask you guys too, for the streams, it's different for these. Do you care if I have the comments on the bottom right? I know there's people that watch on their TV. Do you guys care if I put the comments on the screen here or no? Okay, yeah, it was at 253. The only reason why is because I can put my camera down there and it's a better viewing frame for you all if I go to the bottom right. Nobody, okay. If anybody does care. Okay, or if you're indifferent, I'm just going to keep them off if you're indifferent. For the mainstreams, I'll keep them on because I know people watch on the TV. Okay, cool. So now with Eric Gower, if you all remember from when I started talking about the Explorer leaving, and at one point, what they say is Molly's car. Maybe not. Maybe I should slow down when I say this. If we were to look at a lot of the cars, I think a lot of the cars make and model, outside of Mark B, who has done a lot of work on them and identifying them, a lot of them look very similar and they're blurry. The quality's crap. And so I do wonder if what we think is the Ford Explorer isn't at times. That's another thing that I'm going to say that's different than what people have heard for a long time. And that's okay if I'm wrong. I'm okay with being wrong on it. But I think that sometimes we as the Idaho 4 community, we fall into this trap of just assuming, and this is not knocking any creator specifically, because I've been wrong before too, but it's like, we're just assuming that that's the only way it could have happened because somebody pieced it together, right? They've pieced it together, but could the puzzle pieces still fit together a different way? Like what we've said, it's so wild that they called for an unconscious person. Well, if Ethan was unconscious, that's not a lie. It's just when they said they called. So they said somebody was unconscious, and then around 4 a.m., they saw a man. So technically, it's just the way that they're delivering it. I bet that's why they did it that way. So technically, they're not lying. Brad Harris, what was your comment? I'm scrolling up, Brad. If Ethan was unresponsive, why would Xana get undressed before trying to help him? You're saying, because she was found in underwear and a sweatshirt. Okay, so what if? So again, we're trying to piece together minute by minute. How fast did Ethan go downhill? Was Xana at some point being the caretaker? Was Xana in bed? Was Xana in bed with Ethan thinking that he just needed to sleep this off? Did Xana then wake up at some point and realize, holy hell, Ethan's unresponsive after she's been ready for bed too? Do you know what I mean? Did she lay down? She started to just hang out on her phone. She's scrolling TikTok, whatever it may be. And then did she realize, oh my God, I don't think he's breathing? Is that plausible? Because I agree. I mean, yeah, she's found in her underwear and a sweatshirt. You could say maybe people took the pants off or other stuff, but I also think that there is a reason that it, maybe again, Ethan wasn't assumed to be going downhill as fast as he was. Or maybe he got sick on her. That's a great question, Brad. I agree. I mean, I think there's really only one explanation to that, which that could be a good insight. Now that you bring that point up, is assuming that Xana got to that level of clothing herself, one would assume she was home getting ready for bed before anything with Ethan caught her attention. Boomer said if the unresponsive person was known the night before, that means the word around the campus before the 911 call. That's true. I find it very hard to believe that somebody didn't hear something about, holy hell. I mean, Ethan seemed to be a popular guy. He's in Sigma Chi, he's a frat bro. I find it hard to believe that didn't make its way out of a group chat as far as rumors. It's a great point. That means that they would have been knowing before the 911 call. Yet they all still say right around 11, and they all still say they went to bed at the same time. So that's where you need your tinfoil hat, folks. Sammy said, does anyone know if an R kit was done on Xana? So I've actually done a little bit of research on this. When you look at what was swabbed, it looks like they got a full thing done. And then you would say, well, why would is it normal to do a full? Because I think Ethan had something done on him too that would show, was there, the rape kit or something that would show is there sexual assault? So I was looking into that because if somebody's just stabbed, why would they do that for every stabbing? They wouldn't, unless is there ligature, is there marks on wrists? Is there marks on feet? Is there something that would maybe point to being bound and gagged? And I believe that I presented that on, I don't know if that was on YouTube yet or if that was back on TikTok, but I've looked into that and I've talked about it. That would be my guess, Sammy. It's a great question. Edie said, what if Xana was drugged too and was having a thing that night with Dylan? Lakeland had a thing for Dylan. Took a picture of Dylan's pants in bedroom and sent to Ethan. Maybe that's why Xana was in underwear. So again, I don't know. I don't know. That's why, because they're all good questions, guys. I just don't know how to answer those. Like, respectfully to people that are asking stuff like that, it's like, how would we know? Right? That's not a bad insight to keep in mind, but because it could pertain to the bigger picture, especially around was Xana drugged too. But as far as like the love triangle point that was brought up by Mrs. Chapin, I don't think that you're way off base for asking that, Edie. I just don't know how we would know that at that point. I mean, I think I sent this to hey, Sleuther Dare, you're in here. What was the timestamp that I had sent you about when I think Lakeland left? She starts yelling Xana. Can you type that in the chat or text me, Sleuth? Do we think Quinn was the one with the bad drugs or JS? I don't know. Right? I don't know. I'd like to, like I said, I'd like to focus on just the general events. Are you guys, when I say that, does that make sense? And does that resonate with anybody? I know that it maybe isn't as like captivating to talk about the super interpersonal drama, but I think in the last 2 weeks, by us kind of zooming out and going more broad and just trying to figure out the general thing, that led us to thinking and now seeing potentially Ethan might have been home before the girls. Ethan might have been unresponsive. Now we just see that other interview where they say, yeah, that somebody was unresponsive and dead. I think there's a benefit to doing that first and getting that dialed in. So I don't want to say that I'm not ignoring it. We can ask it, but I still don't know how we would be able to figure out the best answer for that if we don't even know the timeline. Right. Like, yes, less minute details, but bigger picture, because bigger picture. Hang on. My dog's going crazy. What? Sorry about that. Mrs. Birdie's mom just sent us one of those like edible arrangement things. They were at the door. So sorry. The dog was not on the roof. The dog was just being a maniac. So, okay, what was I saying? I was talking about shoot, what was I talking about? It was Ethan and Xana. Come on. Oh, Jesus. I'm completely blanking right now. What? So, oh yeah, the broader picture. Yeah, but there was a certain point that I was going to make. Oh, the broader picture too. The reason why I want to focus on the broader picture of what happened in the timeline and then narrowing down is, I'm just going to say it. I believe that Brian Kohberger, there is enough in the documents, and I'm not saying that we should stop talking about Kohberger in this, but there's enough in Brian Kohberger could get out. I'm fully convinced a capable attorney could get Brian Kohberger out given everything that's already in the documents. Do you all feel me on that? I genuinely think Brian Kohberger being in prison and the reasonable doubt and everything that we've seen in the documents that would show that if this goes to trial and he is a very capable attorney, there is no doubt in my mind that Brian Kohberger could be let out. I mean, seriously. So that's why I wanted to talk about the funding thing. And so the whole wrongful conviction in my mind, and for the people that like us that have really looked into this, it is very important. Yes, because obviously he's in prison. Now, if he's in prison because he's supposed to be, as far as funding and a big project and more, the tinfoil hats, stuff, which really isn't, it's just a bunch of dots connecting that make a hell of a coincidence. Or if he is just fully railroaded and the FBI really didn't ask him if he wanted to be a patsy, he was told he was going to be a patsy. They forced him into it, which they probably do that all the time too. Brian Kohberger being in prison for this crime is really just the narrative cover. So I don't know if our efforts need to necessarily focus on the sheath DNA and stuff like the car and the fog lamps anymore. I think we knocked that out of the park. Everybody did in this community. Everybody got those documents, went through them, and completely socialized them and put them out there. And I believe that if you've read the documents, there's no doubt Brian Kohberger could absolutely have a chance of being vindicated and shown that there's way more reasonable doubt by a reasonable jury. And it's not even that he would maybe questionably be walking free. I mean, I think it would just be evidence is presented in a truthful way. And it seems like a lot of people are agreeing with that. That would be epic. Yeah, and so like Nomadic Dougman said, he needs a miracle. Right. And so it's like at the end of the day, Brian Kohberger getting out of prison, a lot of the cards are in his hand. He has to want to. There has to be somebody, then there is luck and chance. There has to be somebody willing to take it on. And so we can't force that. But what we can do is we can start to force truth on what really happened to make Kohberger irrelevant to the Idaho 4 case and make Kohberger just very relevant in the minds of the people that don't believe it, that, yeah, he didn't do it. Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to say. So let's listen to this about the Black Explorer, and let's see if we can jog any thoughts up, and then we will open this up and look into the difference mode, and then we can pull up anything.
I bickered a little bit about that, but it wasn't anything even like remotely alarming. It was just a couple drunk people arguing over mac and cheese. But then dropped them off. I pulled in the driveway. They got out.
You drove directly from Grub Truck to here.
Yep.
Didn't stop anywhere else.
Nope. I took Main Street south to 6th Street, I think. I turned right on 6th, and then at the next intersection there by Jimmy John's, turned left on Troy Highway, whatever that is. And then I think I took that all the way to Taylor by the A&W gas station, and then I turned right on Taylor, and then drove right straight down here. Pulled in their driveway. It's easier to turn around that way. They got out.
You came here, did this, drove here.
Turned in right here, yeah, their driveway.
But this is this way.
Yeah. Maddie was definitely more intoxicated, I felt like, than Kaylee. Kaylee was quiet. And so I just kind of had everywhere as I'm backing out, kind of take my time, make sure they make it in okay. And so I backed out, and they both went inside, and everything seemed fine. And
You saw them go inside? Mm-hmm. Saw the door shut behind them?
No, I did not. I saw Kaylee go in, and then right as I was kind of turning up the road, then Maddie went in. And
why do you think he's asking? You saw the door shut behind them? Because it certainly sounds like, to what Boomer and Sammy kind of brought up about, were they waiting in the spare room, referring to Chris Whitcomb's interview saying that spare room is sketchy, right? Did he ask him, did you see the door close behind? Because as soon as the girls walked in, those other people that were waiting for them were in that spare room downstairs. And that's why it sounds like something happens outside, because they partially got into that basement level.
I was driving away then. I didn't see the door physically shut, no.
How many cars would you say were in the driveway or the parking area in front? Would you say it's crowded?
It was a little bit. I think there was 4 in the physical driveway. And then there was 1 or 2 parked right here on the side of the road. Because I remember as I was backing out, making that corner was kind of tight. I have a whole lot of ground clearance in general, and there's kind of a curb that sticks out. But there was like a black SUV parked right here that kind of made it tight. And
were the lights on in the apartments?
I don't remember the whole thing lit up, but there was lights on inside. Yeah.
So in general, I mean, there's so many things that are off about the way that people are interviewed. We don't need to, be a broken record on that, but I really wanted to point out the fact that this cop really said, did the door close behind them? that is an elite summary. He's just a goofy witness. Getting called goofy might be worse than getting called, or like getting cussed at. Like, would you be more offended if somebody called you like if somebody called you an a-hole, or if somebody called you goofy? Goofy might hurt a little bit more. Or like if somebody called you a clown puncher. God, what a clown puncher that guy is. Like at that point, just call me, a normal, call me a normal insult. Like that guy is just a knob. That guy is just a goof. Like, oh, you guys get my point. But ultimately, yeah, who drove the black SUV? A lot of people think that it's Ethan, but there's a detailed log of the Explorer Hunter, but there's a detailed log of that Explorer that seems like it doesn't leave anywhere close to after midnight. I'm a goofy goober. Okay, this is the last video. Then open it up. You guys tell me what you want me to pull up, but I want to make sure that we watch this because I started to do this last night. So we have Jeff H in the difference mode. The Explorer really needs more time. In my head, I can't speak on the Explorer good enough yet. I just wanted to point out that and see, is that something that you all think deserves more attention? Because if we can show that either that wasn't the Explorer, or if it was the Explorer, it was Hunter bringing it back, it could also show how the rumors of Ethan and Xana getting taken back to King Road may have been true, and it could have been because something was happening to Ethan. And so, right, like I just think that there needs to be other things that fall into place before we're going to be able to tell when that Explorer becomes more obvious as far as when did it get there, how did it get there, why did it get there. Somebody said, oh, that's hilarious. Beyond Reasonable Doubt said, new username, Goofy Clown Puncher. That would be, I'm sure somebody will take that. Pineapple Diana said, 124A CC vid needs 124 AM CC vid needs looked at and follow movements. 124 CC. Why am I completely drawing a blank on that? Car park? Did you mean Linda Lane? Is there a different? Bellamicia, good to see you. How are you doing? Said, I think we should revisit Jack Showalter and his involvement. His mom is a doctor, and she was in the actual interview with her son and the police. What if she has something to do with the drugs? Maybe the scripts. That's a good take. That is a good take, right? Was Showalter down bad, potentially being kicked out, or the probation thing, right? Or he lived alone, rather, right? It was Showalter that was on probation, or said that he was on probation. His mom is a doctor. His mom seems like it to be a helicopter parent, right? So I don't think that that's a bad take. Oh, the Corner Club video, duh. The 124 Corner Club video is what needs to be looked at, and we can follow the movements. Okay. All right. I will add that to the list. So let me write that down. 124 Corner Club, which is good because I also have something from Linda Lane. So, all right, let's watch this difference mode thing quick.
No, I'm not.
He's getting scared. Not to be that guy, but we shouldn't park anywhere here. It's older than.
You know how I've called this car the transforming car? This difference mode? I'm telling you, it's just crazy to me. I don't know why this bothers me so much that this car is a transformer.
Part of the modern part of the law.
It's almost like you can see the overlay in difference mode, right? Like, why can you see through this? Why can you see through the car and the light? You can still see the fence. Like, how is that possible? And it's just unbelievable. You can see every rung of the fence still. And when you go back to here, you can still see through it. Why is this car translucent? And yet this car, I mean, so it's like this is translucent. You can see through these people, but you can't see. Like, I don't.
No, I'm not.
He's getting scared. Not to be that guy, but we shouldn't park anywhere here. It's older than part of the modern part of the law.
You can hear the yelling too. The oh my God, Santa, what the fuck? And somebody just brought up a really good point about, has anybody cross-referenced this time with the text messages? So I just pulled that up. So that is at 12:27. So let me find it. Come on. Dylan sees Xana for the last time at Allie's. Xana's holding a White Claw. So that's 20 minutes before this. Ethan gets a text from Hunter Johnson. Are you still at Sigma Chi? A couple minutes before this. Ethan texts, yep. Actually, no, hang on. That's 12:27, my bad. Yeah. Then this is all after. But what's interesting is so then if you go to, this is also very odd, is at 1 a.m., right when Lakeland says that she's leaving, talking about cross-referencing this to the texts. So it says that Lakeland gets over there between 1:15 and 1:30. So how weird is this, though? Dylan is saying, and I'm sure people have noticed this. So at 1:15, Dylan calls a Sobro for her and Lake because they're very intoxicated, and they watch Vampire Diaries. They say 1:15 to 1:30. But at 1:22, Lake is already leaving? And then it says Lake leaves after 1:33, right? But in general, what I'm trying to say is, so how is this? I mean, look at how different just the time frames are. Like Bethany, so Bethany would have said about 1:22. She knows that, I think. Why? Because did they put that in there because they said that's what a picture is at? That Bethany took the picture at, right? It's all confusing. And is it Boise time? Is it local time? All that other stuff. Nonetheless, let's say that we go with 1:22 right around here. You can hear somebody yelling Xana. So, of course, that seems to be yelling, Xana. And is that right when Lake's leaving? I'm telling you, there's got to be something that is kicking off. So I think that something kicks off shortly before midnight. Dylan, Bethany, and Lake or whoever, they're all heading back home. It's like there's two pockets of when people are arriving home that stuff starts to happen. That's the first pocket when things are going wrong. Then Kaylee and Maddie get home right before 2. Then it escalates more. I'm just trying to piece. I feel like we just got to move congruently through this. Yeah, I agree with that. It sounds like they say, Pete, hurry. And so again, I know we've listened to this a bunch of times, and everyone, and we always do the, you know, this is what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like, which is important. But I think what we need to start to look at, and I know this is hard to do, even for myself, it's hard to do. We need to start to look at what are the times that things start to escalate. What are the times that the yelling and the voices become louder? And can we piece together, okay, here's a pocket right around, 1240. Here's a pocket at 116. Here's a pocket at 223. And that's when there's things that have to line up with the interview. And so, as I stated, like with these Saturdays, we're going to find our rhythm and our flow on how to do that. This first one, I wanted to just, like I said, open it up. And so to talk about anything. And I had saw that Pineapple Diana had asked us to look at the 124 Corner Club and said, follow the movement. I believe, didn't somebody call in and we watched this movement of the person? Or if you're referring to who talks to Kaylee, didn't we look at this? But now that we can't do it again, it's just, we were trying to say that somebody walks away and then they come back. Like, what were they doing? Obviously, when we look into something too, we need there to be some significance to it. So I will play this, but I'll turn that off so that we don't have to listen to the static. So, yeah, we've seen. So again, what was the oddity of this though? Refresh my memory. Wasn't it just that somebody was coming out from behind the bar, walks away, and then comes back, and then they kind of jokingly flip them off? I mean, this, I don't want to get distracted by the guy grittying then all the time and dancing. So, right, I have to back up to 124 and track the movement. I'm at 124. I started at 123. I'm trying to clarify what movement are we tracking, everybody? This is at, or are you saying 124 on the video, not the timestamp? Let's clarify that too. My point is, like, we could launch this. Just refresh my memory. What are we looking at here? We're looking from the Corner Club inside. They were okay. I need more clarification on that. Like I said, I feel like we've watched that. I'm not trying to be rude. I just don't even know what we're looking for, because if it's just that, I mean, there's no sound on it. And if it's like we're tracking the movements, we've looked for the plaid shirt. I believe that Pineapple Diana did you call it? We showed that where somebody comes from behind the bar, then they walk away, and then they come back, and then there's a middle finger. But I haven't the slightest idea as far as did I miss what we were supposed to be looking at more into that is what I should ask. Because that's what I'm confused about. You had said that might need more looking into. Did you mean just in general? What does that mean? What is that referring to? Or did you mean like, let's look at the video again? What else should we look into? It's all yours now, Hive. Keep typing some stuff, and then yeah, they look like they got into an argument. At a certain point, too, it's like what is the evidence that we see, that we have, that we can actually interpret? I mean, that one's muted or it's staticky. Half the screen is a blur, and so I don't know. Like, we could watch the interactions and moving around. Ooh, that's a good idea. Birdie, maybe not during this live, but can we watch the Demetrius arrest body cam to show how confrontational he was? Yes. The Emma Bailey and DR. Yes. Thank you, Blue Eyed Candy. Love that idea. And if everybody in here is in our Discord, mods, can we get a thread in the Discord for Hive Plus folks that have for like Saturday war rooms? And what I would really encourage you all to do is if you put something in there, instead of uploading, like, let's say that you want to talk about a clip from a certain creator, don't just put the whole 2-hour video in there. Try to screen record it so that we can just watch a little bit. We don't have to spend time clicking around. Like, make it very specific and detailed. The Saturdays need to be, we could be broad and we can dial it in, but that's what I said. We're going to find our flow. I'd like to have, it's like, let's actually have stuff prepped. Not today because it's first day, but let's try to have stuff prepped. So it's be like, all right, let's game plan on how do we present this? What are we going to look into? Is there anything that this connects to? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I guess just have it titled. So if people want to put stuff in there for it, I mean, who knows? Maybe people not a part of Hive Plus might throw something good in there too. Or if you guys want me to just go through, I mean, I want to obviously hear from you guys, but I have some other stuff as well that I could just continue that didn't really make the streams that I could continue to go through, but I'd like to live dig on some stuff. So like the Bfield body cam and the runners, to me, that's been at the forefront of my mind. I feel like the Bfield runners somehow tie to the end of the fight, or that this is what, again, I think that there was something escalated. I think the Bfield runners tie into that. And there's so much to cover that we have to, that's the thing with scattering around and live digging is like, there almost has to be a single subject to do this for, if we're going to be effective at it. Trying to build off of stuff. Because I mean, again, there's random stuff. They're good ideas, but sometimes, guys, it's like some of the comments are so out of left field that I'm like, I don't even know how we could start talking about that at this point. Okay. Blue Eyed Candy said the timeline. Where'd that just go? Timeline with the text now during that happening. Do you guys want to try to correlate the Bfield runners and body cam to the timeline in the book Broken Plea? I don't think we've done that yet. One's in the chat. Does that sound that's something that we can live dig and we can visually see it. We can cross-reference it. And that's a live dig topic. And as you all are voting. Okay, cool. And then as you're all voting, I saw some people say that they'd like to look into what Dylan's photos looked like. And shout out to the mods for having that. So we pulled that up. We got that ready to go here. So I will show you all these. Let me just get them so that you guys can see them. And then we will go into the Bfield body cam runners and the text messages. So somebody was saying that all of these look like the same, like somebody was saying that these are like the wounds. I don't know about that, but some of these are creepy. What I'm going to do is actually this. I'm going to do this because these are kind of, this will be worth it, I think. I'd like to get a good glimpse as to what these actually look like without the giant glare on them. So give me 1 second. I'll show you guys my Canva magic here. Okay, so Diana Pineapple Diana said, meant inside the club when Maddie whispers in Adam's ear. Then he grabs Jack Showalter, another guy, goes in the back, comes back out right away. Jack Showalter leaves with the girls to walk to the grub truck. Yes. I remember that because that's when you called in and that's how you got the name Pineapple Diana. But my question is, like, I don't know how else to say or ask. How do we look into that further, I guess? Or am I missing something? I could be missing something too. I'm trying to say, when you say that needs looking further into, are you just saying we need to watch that happen again? Or like, what is the looking into it? That's what I'm trying to make sure that I'm understanding, Diana. And it could be on me. So she said, but that happens right away in the beginning of the video. And she said, and then somebody said, I think she wants to see what happens after they leave. I don't know. All right. This is awesome. And I'm just waiting for this one thing to make it brighter. I see him best of me. What did I miss? Love more of the runners. Yeah. Okay. Let's look at Dylan's thing. And Diana, I'll keep an eye out for the clarification on that. I'm sorry if I'm confused. I'm just trying to figure out like what can we actually use the time to like live dig on right now. There's no audio. Everything's blurry in that. And that's what I'm asking for clarification on, looking further for. All right, moving on. So these are Dylan's pictures, about as clear as I can get them without having AI alter them. So let me get this thing off the screen. A lot of eyebrows, a lot of lips. This is right here is crazy. Okay, what the hell? What the hell? That's weird. That's very weird. What in God's name? And how does the book Broken Plea describe the signature wounds? So the book says the killer had bypassed other potential victims on his way upstairs, specifically Dylan Mortensen, whose room would have been closest to the point of entry. Detectives reportedly found a now infamous K-bar sheath partially lodged beneath Maddie's thigh, which, like the rest of her body, seemed to have been posed. She suffered signature wounds to her throat and shoulder. She was the only person in the house who had lived there the year before. Now, hang on. Let me look up the signature wounds again. To this day, it would be extremely difficult to look at piecemeal FOIA disclosures and make sense of diluted bloodstains in the living room. Okay, that's just a crazy comment too. So I'll read this whole paragraph, actually. Before we do, it is important to note that much of Turvey's IRE is based on terabytes worth of information that he has seen and we have not. When Koberger pled guilty, he offered no allocution, meaning Bill Thompson's 54-word explanation is all we know about the evidence stacked against him. To this day, it would be extremely difficult to look at piecemeal FOIA disclosures that make sense of diluted bloodstains in the living room and signature wounds inflicted post-mortem on Maddie's and Kaylee's carefully posed bodies. Blood spatter analysis makes it nearly impossible to know where Xana was first attacked, why Ethan never got up to defend her, how she fled for her life from the kitchen to the room as the killer tossed Maddie and Kaylee's blood over the walls without getting a single drop on the floor. something no one could tie to a stranger. But there was also something about a princess pose. And if you guys ever have looked up what a princess pose is, I would guess that, I mean, that's crazy. Yeah, it kind of is eerie to look at, to think maybe they were posed like this. But if you go back to those signature wounds, I mean, in general, right? Dylan was a psych major, but I don't know what that, I mean, I guess you could say like she's into trippy stuff and eyes and all that, but I'm not even hating on the artwork. I just, does it mean anything? You guys know that I love to now ask for any sort of, you know, if you were able to recognize any pattern or hidden significant meaning in these drawings that uses symbolism without having any influence from mainstream bias or propaganda, and you were a master riddle solver, what do you think this art is trying to say? Let's see what that comes up with. Nobody knows what it means, but it's provocative. It gets the people going. That is an epic comment. Yeah, it's a collage. I know it's a collage, but obviously, like, there's a reason too. Like, I'm sure your daughter, there's a reason why. Is it just because it's trendy to do it? Right? I mean, there's got to be a reason why you make a collage of certain things, though. It's a collage style mood board, inspiration board. The entire piece is structured on the repeated phrase on, and then a topic, on serendipity, on LA, on French Churn. Symbolic language hidden throughout. Okay. Again, this is just AI. These are the fun of the live digs and the Saturdays. I like this. Eyes everywhere. Seeing clearly. After seeing, touching, or connecting. See, now this is weird. Again, you guys saw me just type that in the prompt, and it says this is a visual manifesto of radical self-accounting. The artist is documenting with a messy, ongoing work of being a person in the modern world, how friendships dissolve and reform, how one is having to represent themselves, the tension between wanting deep connection and protecting the introverted core, the constant attempt to balance ego. I mean, that sounds like a psych major in a bit. In short, it's like I can see everything clearly now. These are the exact things I'm turning my full attention toward. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's anything nefarious, but it's deeply personal. Awesome. Thank you, Dodd, for getting on that so quickly. So it's deep, right? Like it's deep, I would say. One, two. Huh. Okay, now let's go to what Blue Eyed Candy had suggested. I like that idea of the text messages with the broken plea and the Bfield runners. Does anybody know of a good video that any creators have? Oh wow, that's crazy. You start seeing that everywhere. Does anybody know of a good video that of the Bfield runners? Would it just or of the Bfield body cam? Is it JLR that probably has the best one? See what you all are saying. No, I need the full video, not just little clips, because I need the timestamps. This one I think is unredacted. JLR's is unredacted. Even though this guy's in some hot water right now. I'll skip through the intro of him. Come on. There we go. The sound will pop on soon. Also the worst watermark in the world.
Hey guys, Moscow PD. Come over here, talk to me. Moscow PD. Hey, is that beer?
What's up?
Is that beer in your hand?
Yeah, I'm 21.
You got the ID on you?
I don't.
Okay.
I'll take it back to my apartment if you need.
Okay.
Sorry.
Huh? No, they just took off. I told them to stop this. I'm not going to push it.
Hey, Moscow, please.
Yeah, you got your ID on you?
I don't.
Okay. I'm going to grab your info just because you got beer and you're walking around with it.
No, it's closed.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I live like right there. I'll take it back if you need.
No, we're just doing alcohol enforcement and running around with beer across the street.
No worries. Sorry about that.
You're good. What's your last name?
CHI.
CHI.
KH.
KH.
Space.
Yep.
ALI.
ALI.
Yep.
Okay. First name?
So if we look at let's go to the book. Let's just see where we're starting at here. So we are at 255. So it's right before or right as the girls are getting. Wait, 255? What am I doing here? Come on, Birdie. Jesus. It's so weird that those cops don't hear anything going on. It's so weird they don't hear anything going on, especially the 227 scream. How do you not hear that from your car? Look at this is when the flurry of calls is happening. That's just so odd to me. And then nothing till 325. So 250. This whole time that the Bfield's going on, the timeline disappears. So this body cam, it certainly makes it seem like it's a red herring. Or there's something significant that it's used to just cover up this entire part of the body cam. Because if they were to put the body cam into this, wow, it would take up that whole time frame. Yeah, I know that the calls aren't loud, but the 227 blood curdling scream is loud as hell, right?
SAID, like I said.
AID, middle initial?
I don't have one.
Okay. Date of birth?
2001. Like one.
How'd you pull that one off? That's an awesome birthday.
Yeah, lucky birthday.
You have a driver's license?
I don't have it.
What? No, in general.
I do have one, yeah.
What state is it through?
Idaho.
Idaho. Okay. I'm just going to check if everything's good. Since they're not open, I'll let you hang on to them.
Okay.
So
Will I get charged with anything?
No,
or?
no.
Okay. Appreciate it.
But it's just enough for me to stop, check, make sure you're 21, walking around here in public.
Alrighty.
Moscow 77, check one. What's that?
Am I going to take off? Or?
No, let me run this through dispatch and make sure you're actually 21 and give me a fake birthday or anything. Gonna be a two-part last. Charles Henry Ida, King Henry, space, Adam Lincoln Ida. First of Said, Sam Ida. Correction, Sam Adam Ida, David. No middle. 2001, mail through Idaho. Well, yeah.
Oh, buddy. That's funny.
Yeah, I think that's the first one I've seen.
Yeah.
One. So if that comes back good, yeah, you're free to go. Are these your boys?
No, I don't know them.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Just hang out, my man. Yeah, wait till dispatch comes back and says you're good.
All right, no worries.
You guys taking off on me?
I didn't hear you.
Yeah, we thought you were talking.
You all three turned around and I pointed my flashlight. You said, "Hey, come here." You guys all turned around and walked away.
I thought it was just like a fake person, honestly. Yeah, like
How many fake people are out here that you've experienced?
Something trying to flex us.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, got it.
How's your night going?
Pretty good.
That's good.
Just trying to stay warm.
Is that y'all's car right there?
Yeah.
Undercover.
Well,
That's a good point. So it's Tesdale's cam. Thank you.
just trying to save gas.
I will let this play while I pull that up.
Yes, they downgraded us from patrol cars.
Gotcha.
They gave us hybrids to save on fuel.
There you go.
Smart move.
Yeah. All right. Once dispatch lets me know that actually exists, I'll catch you this. All right.
No worries.
You guys over at which department did y'all come from?
I don't know. I was at a friend's house.
I couldn't tell you the numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know the person hosting the party?
Some guy named Matt, I think.
Okay.
All right, so this is the one that shows it. Thank you. So let's just go to that time.
All right. If you guys all want to stand somewhere in this area, don't run off on me. None of you guys are 21. It's one thing to drink in an apartment where no one can see you. It's another thing for us to drive by and see you guys absolutely stumbling down the roadway. Okay. So likely what's going to happen, because you're all underage. What grade are you guys in? What year are you?
Freshman.
You guys are all freshmen?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys had any cop talks or anything like that with our two campus officers?
Yeah.
Brzezinski, Morris? Okay.
Yeah.
So none of this is a surprise. They've explained this all. They've given all the warning, stuff like that. Okay.
Sure.
So you guys are going to hang out for me. I know it's cold. I apologize. We'll try to get through this as quickly as we can. We're going to get some citations. And we'll catch you loose.
I'm telling you, this is like an essay that this guy had to. It was a 500-page essay. He only had 500 words on a page, and it was 1,000-word limit essay. He had to really over-explain himself here.
Okay.
Wait, what the heck? Why am I? This is Rosie's cam still. Son of a. Officer Tesdale body cam, Bfield, Idaho. Does this have the timestamp though? All I need is the timestamp. Who has Officer Tesdale's body cam? That actually would be much easier. I know. So can somebody tell me where I can find Tesdale's body cam? Because I'm searching it in there and I'm not. Yeah, but I don't. Why would it not pop up though when I type that in? Does anybody know where I can find this? I feel like so Chrissy's Chaos has it.
How old are you guys?
Hello, sir.
How old are you guys? Taking out 21?
Yeah.
Okay. 19?
Yep.
Okay. Is there a reason why you didn't stop back there?
Yeah.
Well, we saw him talking to him,
We're
so we
after
didn't
him.
know.
Okay, well, he yelled at you guys and then turned around because he walked up on him. I yelled at you guys, you didn't stop.
Oh, I did not hear you.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's walk back over here, okay?
Sure.
You guys have IDs on you?
I do not. I think I do, yeah.
Okay. Where you guys live at?
In that house,
Okay.
This is the last time I'm doing this because I actually just thank you, Sluther Dare, for sending me this. This is gonna be what we need. This will be way more efficient for a live dig. Let's watch this, and then we'll correlate with text messages. First time for Hive Plus and getting back into the flow of the live digs. I love it. So shout out to Christy's Chaos. If you guys aren't subscribing to her, you guys know I like Christy a lot, and go show her some love. So this is much earlier. Okay. Sorry. I think we finally got it. Jeez. It's on me. Sorry, Hive. My bad. So this is going to show all of the angles with the Bfield runners.
Citation here. Any rest of information on here, but that's all your information. Citation is MIC. And then down here is going to be the paid by or contest by date. So it's an infraction. So there's a set fine for this, okay? It's $487.50. And it has to be paid or contested by December 1st. Okay. So what's your last word of social?
Let me check.
How tall are you?
I am 6 foot, maybe 6'1".
Okay. Weight?
177.
Yeah.
Hair color?
Blonde. Blonde.
Eye color?
Blue.
All right.
People are inside because there's
Cold. Fucking cold, yeah.
Ethan? No, me. Yeah. So,
I got you.
location here, and the rest of your information on here, but that's all your information.
So is there a rule, like if you get multiple MFPs and MACs, it'll turn into an actual charge?
Yeah, so it's your third one turns into a misdemeanor, which is a criminal charge. Your second one is additionally more expensive than $487.50. So I don't know what it goes up to, but yeah.
Definitely less than one.
Yeah. Just wait till you're 21, or be smart about it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I didn't drink in college. I did, but I can go staggering around the middle of the roadway, afterwards. So, not saying you're a bad person or anything, but there's a way to do it, obviously, and there's a way to do it. Not obviously.
Blue.
So 312. The poll is live in the chat. Honestly, this video does a good job showing all the angles. Before this keeps playing, you know what is kind of just hitting me as we're doing this is, so there's a part of me that when we're all watching this together, I'm like, man, it feels like we've watched this all a million times. But at the same time, it's like it feels like we've also looked at everything a million times. And so what I'd like to challenge people to do, and I'll continue to say this because I know how hard it is to do, is we have to, in my opinion, a lot of the stuff that we've thought is going on isn't per se. Not at that time. Or at least that's how I think we should look at it. Like I was saying with the Ethan arriving before the girls, or then the escalation, as I've said now, 10 times. But what would a logical thing be? And where do the Bfield runners come from? So they go down there, obviously not seen on here. Or are they blurred out, right? But is there anything that we could piece together with this that we haven't said yet? Let me get this off the screen. So it says, together with the 1112 King expanded 200% value, Bfield at 1 at 50%, and Bfield 2 muted until the end with Linda Lane added. Okay. I will make this full screen then because it seems like this is going to be all of them.
Citation here. Any rest of information on here, but that's all your information. Citation is MIC. And then down here is going to be the paid by or contest by date. So it's an infraction. So there's a set fine for this, okay? It's $487.50. And it has to be paid or contested by December 1st. Okay. So what's your last word of social? How tall are you?
I am 6 foot, maybe 6'1".
Okay. Weight?
177.
Hair color? Blonde?
Blonde.
Eye color?
Blue.
All right. Put this button back. Have a sign. We'll put you on your way, okay? All right. So the instructions in the back. It's at $487.50. And again, have it paid or contested by December 1st, okay? Sign the yellow line is not an admission of guilt. It's just saying that you acknowledge the fine date there, okay? Get your cup here. So, obviously,
So Hive, what I'm going to do, because what I want to see is I want to see all of them. So I actually did this. I did the view sync. So check this out. Let's see if we can get this right, because this would be literally every angle at 312. So that's at 311:30. And if this is at 309, so this would have to be at 2 minutes. What time does that one start? So it starts at 309 on the dot. So that would have to be 2:30. All right, I think I should be able to have this now.
citation here. Any rest of information on here, but that's all your information. Citation is MIC. And then down here is going to be the paid by or contest by date. So it's an infraction. So there's a set fine for this, okay? It's $487.50. And it has to be paid or contested by December 1st. Okay. So what's your last word of social? How tall are you?
I am 6 foot, maybe 6'1".
Yeah. Weight?
177.
Hair color? Blonde?
Blonde.
Eye color?
Blue.
Nice.
All right. Put this button back. Have a sign. We'll get you on your way, okay? All right.
Notice how the clouds in the bottom left, they're not even moving. They're not moving at all. So these are almost perfectly synced. So 312.52, 312.56, 312.56.
So instructions in the back. I said 487.50. Again, have it paid or contested by December 1st. Okay. Sign the yellow line. It's not an admission of guilt. It's just saying that you acknowledge the time date there. Okay. Up here.
Does anybody care if I mute the body cam one? Is that even possible to mute the body cam one? I don't think we need to hear them asking about shoe size and height and weight. I'd rather hear all of the sounds that are going on. Would you guys agree? Oh shit. I think that that's what we should do. I think we should start over and take those clown punchers, the goofy clown punchers voice, asking them their height, weight, shoe size, what they have for breakfast, all that other whatever crap they're asking them. I think we should go back and listen to it with just Jeff H's audio on the Linda Lane car park. So that starts at 3:11:35. And okay, I'll get it synced up. So we hear people doing something at the car park. What's up, Lana? It definitely seems like something's opening and closing. So that's all that video was then. Okay. Oh, God help me. All right. So now we have the Bfield runners. We have the weird Bfield stop. We have dumpster dude. And so focus, Birdie, focus. I'm trying to look up the 1112 now, and I'll sync up to 3 a.m. This view sync thing is great. If you guys never use it, it is awesome. So that's at, we got to get this one to 309. We'll start at 309. So the Bfield runners, I mean, it's obviously now with the guy walking around with the dumpster cam. 309. All right. I'm getting pretty good at that. So now remember, just in case people already forgot, the Bfield stop is happening. And there's going to be runners that come in about 2 minutes, a minute from now. And then 2 minutes after that, somebody's walking up and starting to check the dumpsters. Okay, so did people just get picked up from that car or dropped off on 1112? Because I'm going to try to piece something together here. Did they get picked up or dropped off? And I don't want to go back and unsync it because I got them pretty dialed in. So they got picked up. Okay. So now let's think about this. So right around, let's call it 310. Okay, we have the Bfield where kids the Bfield kids are walking away. We have the Bfield runners going away. We have people getting picked up and going away. But then we see this one guy coming to check the dumpsters. So doesn't that seem like at 3:15 to have 3 separate incidences and parties that are ending, right? Or if there was a party going on elsewhere, did they hear, right? Why would they have stopped that party? Well, there clearly aren't cops at that party. The cops are at the Bfield. So to me, like that stands out. That stands out. Why are there so many people that are leaving and going away from 1122 King Road at 3:15? But then there's one guy on Linda Lane that's walking towards it, checking the dumpsters. Now I hear music. Thank you, Katie or Kate. So what I want to know is where does that guy go then after he looks in that dumpster? Right? Because he hasn't showed up on 1112 yet. And it's been 4 minutes. Unless I just completely zoned out and missed him walk up there again. I can't remember off the top of my head. I do know that beat though. It's something like "It's been a long time." Dun, dun. That's what it sounds like. Something like that. I can almost kind of make out the lyrics. But if that music, yeah. So what is that guy doing, right? Because I'm not. I don't know where he goes. Yeah. Okay, so then that only goes till 320. I lined up one more video. Type of one. Do you guys want to watch the 406 time section now? I have that lined up. Like I said, these are just live digs, so way less presentation, more just kind of, us trying to piece something together. You guys tell me. All righty. If we're gonna keep going, let's take a 1 minute break. Grab some water, get a snack, and I'll see you guys in 1 minute. Okay. Come here. This is Rambo. She doesn't want to say hi to anybody. All right, let's check this out now. So 453. So that starts at 406. We'll start at 406. Oh, 659 and Jeff H with his Elantra on there. So let's be honest. 555. Thank you so much for the super chat. Said, I just got here, so I don't know if this has already been seen, but watch the 1330 Linda Lane from 350 to 430. An identified person cuts through at 350, returns at 422, then leaves in a dark SUV. So we did just get done, and with the view sync, that video ended, so I had to sync up 3 new videos. So we did get to the 350 part, I think, or we only got the 330. So what we'll do is we might have to watch this in reverse, let's be honest, but yeah, let's keep an eye out at 422. So just know that at 350, an unidentified person is going to cut through and then returns at 422. Okay, so we'll only be able to see the 422. And somebody had asked me, why do I think the cleanup is happening now? I think that the cleanup is about to start, rather. I think that the people leaving, coming, getting in their car, I know that people try to explain, I just don't find it a coincidence that a girl gets to her car and leaves 3 minutes after what we hear to be in the mainstream narrative, at least, the screaming and the barking. And an hour before this, everybody's leaving. So I feel like everybody leaving and the Bfield happening at like 3:15 is when it's like, oh, shit just got real. It's been building throughout the night. And then it got real. That's why I think you see people getting picked up. That's why you see the Bfield runners. That's why there's the kids that are walking across the Bfield that get stopped. And now this is when I think the cleanup and inside of 1122, the people that are still there are starting to make moves. Okay, like where is that car at this point? You know what I'm saying? Right? Doesn't it feel like that car sounds very close to the point where you hear gravel crackling under the tires? So the only thing that I can think of then is if we hear that, that means that somebody who's not seen on camera left somewhere and went to their car that could not be seen on camera and is moving it. So that means that that car must have already been there, is one thought that I have. It's not that a car is showing up. Is that a car that has been parked that is now moving potentially? And it's close by, and it's not a car that has arrived necessarily. Or Okay. This has been said before. It needs to be re-emphasized. Jeff H., his Linda Lane audio, you can hear everything. We've heard many times where it's crystal clear. There's not a dog bark at all that is picked up on Jeff H.'s audio. Am I wrong in saying that? You don't hear it at all. It's certainly not the loops that it seems to be doing on the 1112. Oh. So now, doesn't that seem like that's a car that may have been there for a while, leaving and sped up? Love it, Sluther Dare. Love that question. Thank you for having that thought and typing it out, because that is a great question. So when are Dylan's movements? What time are we at right now? We are at 4:21. So yeah, this is apparently, right before, this is as the flurry of texts. Whoops. This is as the flurry of texts are kicking off. So at 5 a.m., it says 30.77, 3.52, 3.52. So something tells me in my, again, I'm just 3.52. Is that miles? 3.52 seems like how you would interpret miles. And if you go somewhere for an hour, that's 3.52 miles away, and you're there for an hour, and then you go back 3.52. I mean, how would you have that be the exact same distance 1 hour later? But then it's like 30.77. Why would they only put 3.5 feet or 3.5 meters? So it's 9 feet. She moved at 8. 9 feet. She moved at 9. 30 feet. She moved at right if or 90 feet. Like, I mean, 30 miles is not that long. Like, what you could get 30 miles, obviously, in just a handful of it. It could take you not that long at all in a car. What if that is miles? Let's just think through that. Oh, okay. So Amber, I'm assuming Amber Vance confirmed that number with the decimal, and on the Apple devices means distance like miles. Okay. That's very interesting. On an Apple Watch sensor, would it use decimal for miles? Oops, I got to change the. One second, I'm going to screenshot this. Yeah, and then it says 120.7, not miles. You're right, redactivities. Good point. Let's just see what this says. And then you said it also has their sensor at when? 11? Let's see if this says what this would mean. So these are 3 separate activity location motion samples were recorded in that period. On Apple systems, it's commonly meters for short movement. Okay, so given the context here, it's far more plausible to be meters. That fits normal indoor walking movement. It says the earlier entries could still be that kilometers. The fact that it says activity sensor data instead of workout maps or GPS leans toward motion coprocessor health kit aggregation data, which is frequently uses SI metrics internally. Okay. That's a diesel. That's a diesel truck. That's a good point. You know, my questions are like, where are the lights that go on to here then? And I only have one audio playing that whole time. So think about how loud that was. That was so loud. This is the only audio playing. Yeah, I agree. So what I'm trying to do right now, I'm going to go for about 7 more minutes here. 3 hours for the first Hive Plus. Like I said, live dig. The point of getting together like this is really just to kind of see what comes of it, but start off where I'm presenting some stuff in the direction that I'm going to go for next week, and then really just kind of looking at stuff. I haven't sat and watched this footage synced up like this with really nothing else going through my mind and just listening in a very long time. So what I'm doing is I just actually made a Veed account, and I need to I'm going to try to do something right here. Speed up to 448. Okay, I can do that quick. I'll go to 447.30 and start it there. $446.05 we'll start. What are we looking for? Who just said that? Sorry about that, Hive. This is actually, hopefully this is really cool, what I just figured out. So I've never used this program before. And this is Veed. Veed can clean the audio up. So, okay, if I have to upgrade. Okay, let me see if I can do something quick. I'm going to see if I can. Give me a second here. Yeah, so hopefully we can do this 1 or 2 Saturdays a month where you get on and there's no time limit. We can just kind of go. I don't want to go any longer than 3 hours typically. But I'm trying to. This is just going super slow. Well, you know what, Hive? I'll work on this and I'll try to have it ready by Monday to get some of the background noise removed. I really think that the only way that we're going to get further with video and audio is having clear, cut, crisp, like not a bunch of different tones. And I know that people are good at it. Don't get me wrong, but it needs to be not good. It needs to be elite. Like we need to go from good to great with background noise removal, where it's not manipulating the existing sound. It's just getting rid of that staticky thing. And there's clearly ways to do it. There's tools to do it. They're paid for tools. I'm happy to, quote unquote, invest in that and get that done. I mean, we're not just doing this for no reason, right? So great first Hive Plus War Room. Thank you again for all of you guys that are supporting the channel financially. I appreciate it. I look forward to many, many more of these Saturdays, and I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend, Hive. Cheers, everybody.